Okay, I don't know if I should be showing you this. This is so embarrassing. Mama, if you're watching, please don't shout at me.
I'm Katrina Walter from Oliphant and I am a knitting teacher and designer based in Sydney in Australia. If we haven't met before, this is a little bit of a different style of video than I normally do. So I figured I would show you how I've been organising my craft room, which is a project that I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. I thought you all might find it interesting to see how I set things up and what I've got going on in here. And as part of this, I also reorganized my stash, but I'm going to show you all of that next week because I know a lot of you would appreciate all the nitty gritty on all of the lovely yarn that I have. So today we're just going to have a quick little overview of how I cleaned up my room because it was a disaster, like an actual disaster. And I'll show you a couple of things that I reorganized. So let's get to it.
All right, so here is some yarn just sitting on the floor and my microphone, which I should definitely pick up before I step on it because that would be a disaster. And then some piles of rubbish. I think they're in a bag because I was trying to throw them away and just never threw them away. This armchair is meant to be my little knitting corner, but it's currently occupied by all of the knits from my wardrobe walkthrough that I filmed weeks ago, and I still haven't put them in my wardrobe. This is my current project that was blocking, and I decided to film how I blocked it, but then I never put the lights away or the tripod, and the project itself was drying still, so that hasn't been packed up yet. And my handbag, why is my handbag there? Some more yarn just randomly sitting on the floor, random skein there. And then this is my desk. This area is all of my craft supplies and my knitting notions and things, but the desk itself, when I'm working for a couple of days in a row, all the mess just sort of piles up because I'll just use one thing and put it down and not actually put it back where it's meant to be because I'm too busy. And then here are my cards. They're all really pretty, but oh, hi. Some of them are a year old, so I should probably take them down. And then this is my cupboard full of notions and things. All of my project bags live in that cupboard there with the door ajar. And then if I take you around to the other side of the room, this wall is all cabinets, cupboards, I don't know what you'd call them. And this is where my stash lives. So aside from just generally cleaning up, I am going to update the shelving here, and I'm also going to change up my desk. I love my sewing machine, but it never gets used. So I'm going to set up my computer on an actual laptop stand because I'm definitely using it more than my sewing machine. So let's start cleaning. So I decided to do my desk next, and there's just lots of different bits and pieces scattered all over it. So the first thing to do was to put away my knitting needles, and this is my Chiago set, which I got recently. They're the spin interchangeable set, and I quite like them. And usually what I do if I have a couple of needles that I need to unscrew all at once, I will stick the little unscrew pin thing into all of them at the same time. And that way you can unscrew them in bulk without having to do it all one by one. And this set is nice because it actually says on the needles what size each of the tips is, so it makes putting them away quite a bit easier. The other interchangeable set I have is this set of Addy Clicks, and they don't actually have the sizes written on the needles, so I have to use the little needle sizer to figure out what size they all are. And then I just had a bunch of random paper I needed to put away, And one of the things I try and do with paper is if I think I'm going to need what's written on it, I just take photos instead of actually keeping the paper, just to declutter a little bit. And don't worry, this is all going in the recycling. It's not actually just going to go in the rubbish. Oh, and I found a random yarn label that I actually need to keep. And then this is part of why things take me so long to clean up. So I literally just needed to put a sewing needle away in my notions pouch, and I realized that everything was all scattered in my notions pouch, so I had to clean up the inside of that too. So it's just little things like that that always take me forever because I get a little distracted as I go. But I'm getting there. It's mostly done now. And by mostly done, I mean I'm about to make even more of a mess. So I tend to procrastinate on tasks that I don't want to do, and that's why things get messy a lot of the time, is because I'll have stuff that I need to do that I don't want to do, so I just leave it in piles. And I realized that one of the piles of stuff that I had in the room was all of the packaging from my new iPad, and I hate putting these screen protector things on. I just really hate it. Please tell me I'm not the only one. And so I had just left it all in a pile. So part of cleaning up always ends up being doing these like little menial tasks that I didn't want to do before, but I figured I should just get onto it already. So part of why I never packed up the clothes that were sitting on my armchair is that my wardrobe used to be organised quite specifically because all of my stuff barely fits in there, and I had taken it all out to film the video and then I couldn't remember how to put it all back in, so I just sort of left the pile of clothes. But luckily I found a photo on my phone that I had taken of a couple of the shelves that had my knitwear in them, so I could actually pack stuff away. Also, since the floor had been such a disaster, I hadn't run the vacuum cleaner for a while, so I figured this would be a good opportunity to... Oh, okay, that's probably not a good idea to leave it unsupervised around wires. Oh no, I didn't realize he had gone and done this. Oh, there we go. All right. I seem to have caught him at just the right time. So I finally finished everything and it is so much better. You can actually see the floor now. And I had to leave my lights up because as much as I'd like to put them away, I know if I actually pack them up, I will never actually film anything because I'm too lazy to actually unpack them. So it's easiest if I just keep them set up so I can grab them quickly whenever I need them. And so this corner of the general desk area is where I keep my non-yarn knitting stuff. So that's my basket of whips and my Swift and my yarn bowls, as well as my knitting books. But I need to clean up the whole sewing machine situation. Because as much as I thought I was going to use it heaps, I have used it like twice since we moved into the house. And I do use my laptop a lot. And I'm always hunched over it, so I want to set up a permanent area that has an actual laptop stand. So time to put it away. So I'd originally planned on putting the fabric and the sewing machine in a place that was easy to get to, but it didn't fit, so I'm going to put it in this cupboard under my desk. So hopefully that's not dooming it to never being used again, and I'll take it out at some point in the future and use it. So time to set up all the technology. I have got this cute little laptop stand, which is really nice and slimline, but I had been hoping that I could keep my laptop in its case because I really like the case, but that didn't quite work, so I figured I'd just put it away. And I had gotten a keyboard before. I quite like it because it works with both my laptop and my iPad, but I got a new mouse because the original mouse that I got just wasn't working out for me. So I went and bought a Magic Mouse from Apple, and I've had one before, but I was so confused. I haven't had to pull the manual out for a piece of Apple tech for a while, but it turned out to be really weirdly difficult to pair with my computer. You have to stick a wire in, which is odd for a Bluetooth mouse, let alone an Apple product. But once it was all set up, it was really good to go. I quite like that the top of it is a touchpad because it means that I can scroll really easily in iMovie when I'm editing videos, which is pretty important for me. And then the last thing that I set up was a couple of hard drives. So I got this USB hub extender, which is really strange. The cord is super short, which is sort of annoying. But anyway, I have a couple of hard drives that I use to back things up and to also store all of my videos and things. So coming from someone who used to be in technology, please back up your computer, because once things die, it can be pretty tragic if you don't have all of your data stored somewhere. I know everything's all in the cloud now, but having a copy of everything locally is still very handy. So these are the hard drives I got. I've had the black one for a while, but this grey one is new and I needed a bigger one. It's 2 terabytes, which is exciting.
So this is what the final setup looks like. I'm pretty happy with it because I managed to hide the hard drives and all the cables and stuff tucked in under the laptop. So that worked out nicely. It's not too ugly. And if we zoom out, this is what the little sort of crafty corner looks like. I don't know what I'm going to put in that area now that the material's gone, but we'll think of something. And I've got my yarn bowls and my Swift and my ball winder all ready to go whenever I need them. And I also cleaned up my corkboard over here. So I decided to actually try and use it as a bit of an inspiration board. So these are some designs that I'm working on at the moment. And then I will show you a sneak peek of how the yarn storage all ended up, because I did actually finish that the other day. So here it is. I got rid of the buckets and I put in some new ones, and all the yarn actually fits now. So I will show you how that all panned out next week. So if you'd like to see a bit of a deep dive into my stash and how I organized it all, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any updates. And tune in next week and I will take you through what my stash looks like and how I organized it. But until then, I'm Kat from Oliphant Cat, and I will talk to you later. Bye.